Now on CoastTV News.
It's a mild start out there as we're tracking some sun this afternoon, milder in the lower 80s as seas continue to rise, and the latest on Erin and when we could expect to see the peak of those effects.
Beach activity blocked with waves churning. We have the latest on the status of arches for Wednesday.
Surf survival.
To me, I thought I was going to die. I mean, it was that bad of a hit.
How a vacationer recently experienced a terrifying situation at the Indian River Inlet and the gratitude he has for those who saved him.
Detecting school danger, what the Indian River District is putting in place at its high schools in the name of safety ahead of the new year.
This is CoastTV News Today.
And welcome to our 6 o'clock hour. Good morning, I'm Matt Pensick.
And good morning, I'm Elisa Weber. It is Wednesday, August 20th, 2025.
Now we're tracking surf conditions, wave height, and we have not reached the peak of Erin's intensity yet.
There's a lot going on. All of our weather people are very busy. First alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobuono is going to join us. Chris, I know our two other meteorologists enjoy tracking these storms. I'm sure you do as well.
Oh, I do, yes. This is very nice. I mean, people that know me was more of a snow guy. I like my nor'easters, and this is going to have some kind of nor'eastery kind of features, but not with the snow. We've seen a few scattered showers and some sprinkles across the eastern shore. That's primarily where we've seen the moisture this morning. We're pretty dry across much of Sussex County. You can see plenty of more moisture off the coast there along the ocean. Fog, not really an issue this morning. Some low level visibility across the eastern shore. Temperatures, though, were quite mild. We only hit 69 degrees for a high yesterday in Georgetown. We're at 70 right now, 73 Rehoboth, and we're at 74 Bethany Beach. You can see that onshore wind continues with those gusts at the coast, generally between about 16 to 21 miles an hour. Now we have tropical storm warnings. This is for the coastal waters of Cape Henlopen all the way down through Rehoboth, down through Fenwick Island, as well as down through Ocean City. The coastal flood watch remains in effect through Friday, due in part to the onshore wind and the wave action. Could see up to a 2-foot inundation there along those areas. And then that tropical storm warning for the coastal waters of Ocean City down through Chicotee. There's Hurricane Erin, a Category 2 hurricane tracking north-northwest, eventually going to make that curve to the northeast tomorrow. In doing so, it's going to kick up, again, dangerous, life-threatening rip currents and surf and swells along the eastern seaboard. So we're expecting a milder day today. Some breaks in those clouds with temperatures in the lower 80s. Isolated shower possible this afternoon, and then there's when we begin to see the peak impacts of Erin at the coast tomorrow afternoon through the evening, with gusts upwards of 50 miles an hour, waves as high as 14 feet. But there is good news. We are looking at sunnier skies by Friday. In fact, a fantastic weekend, but the surf is going to continue to remain rough through Friday and Saturday. So keep that in mind if you have plans heading to the beach, because it's going to be quite sunny by the end of the week. We'll talk about the taste of fall and that extended forecast here in a little bit. Matt.
All right, thank you, Chris. Let's get a live look now at the coast. This is Rehoboth Beach. You can actually see a few people venturing on the beach this hour to check out the wave action. We expect that wave action to intensify as we continue on today. As we begin this Wednesday, coastal communities are taking action, responding to rough water and high surf. Rehoboth Beach is posting a double red flag status. That means officials cite extreme hazards and swimming is not allowed. Ocean City closing access to its waters. Delaware Seashore State Park and Fenwick Island State Park, they've prohibited ocean access since Monday, with rules continuing today. And surf fishing and swimming at Cape Henlopen State Park beaches, it's not allowed.
Hurricane Erin hasn't brought its full force to Delaware's coast yet, but it's coming. Denmark Shoreline and Waterway Management Section is now referring to Erin as a, quote, severe erosion event. How severe will be determined over the next several days. And
officials say the Indian River Inlet, which we're showing you here, the beaches could see the worst of it Thursday, with erosion lasting into Saturday. Denmark has staged heavy equipment on both sides of the bridge to respond as needed. Denmark says it will not preemptively place sand at the inlet for supporting infrastructure ahead of possible hurricane impacts, but will, quote, assess impacts as they occur and more fully address beach and dune losses after the storm has passed. North Carolina is providing an example why Denmark has this concern. Check out this video right here. Waters from Hurricane Erin reaching all the way up to these houses. And this is part of the North Carolina Outer Banks, and you can see they already are seeing damage from the storm.
What started as a normal beach day at the Indian River Inlet ended in a terrifying experience. Michael Zeke was recently here on vacation from Pennsylvania with family and neighbors when a decision to get into the water led to him being knocked down by a large wave and hitting his head. Zeke was rescued by lifeguards, Bethany Beach EMTs, and flown to Christiana in a state helicopter. Tears filled his eyes as he reflected on the moment his life was saved.
Never lost consciousness. It was horrific. I can't explain how horrific it was because to me, I thought I was going to die. I mean, it was that bad of a hit. The lifeguards were incredible. They really were. I think I would have ended up paralyzed if it wasn't for them.
Zeke says if this experience has taught him anything, it is to only swim where lifeguards are present. It's important to note the rough surf conditions Zeke experienced were not a part of the impacts of Hurricane Erin. And to learn more about what Zeke is saying he has learned after this accident, you can head to the article on CoastTV.com.
Happening today, the Sussex County Planning and Zoning Commission is reviewing a request that aims to add more homes to a Millsboro area manufactured park. This is by the Crossings at Oak Orchard LLC. It's seeking approval for 2 additional lots inside the Riverwinds manufactured home park, and according to county documents, it affects less than half an acre of land within the 35-acre community. Commission meeting is scheduled for 3 p.m.
Sussex County Council has named a new member to its Planning and Zoning Commission. The council appointed John Passwaters of Bridgeville to the 5-member panel. His term begins September 1st and runs through June 2026. Passwaters owns a landscaping and outdoor lighting business and is also a farmer. Councilman Steve McAaron nominated Passwaters to replace Brian Butler, who resigned earlier this month.
Also, the council approved some changes to its property tax policies. This is to comply with statewide reforms that recently were signed into law. And one of the key changes requires counties to offer payment plans for primary residential property owners facing tax increases of more than $300. That's a result of House Bill 241. And under the plan, homeowners must apply by September 30th.
This morning, the ability to sell alcoholic beverages at 2 big Ocean City music events is getting reviewed. Texas-based Spectrum Concessions has applications in front of the Worcester County Board of License Commissioners. One is for Oceans Calling from September 26th to the 28th, and the second is Country Calling from October 3rd to the 5th. Both sales would be from noon to 10:30 p.m.
Happening in South Bethany, they have a review of the town's resiliency action plan. The Resiliency Committee says the plan covers a wide range of tasks from mitigation projects and building code updates to bulkhead, green infrastructure, project financing, and public outreach. The committee's meeting in just a few hours from now. That's at 10 a.m.
Plans to expand the Milton Theater are moving forward. Tuesday night, engineers presented preliminary site plans to the Milton Planning and Zoning Commission. Those plans included a roughly 2,800 square foot addition to the theater. It would be for more classroom space, parking, and accessibility. This is just part 1 in the process.
Tonight was the first step, preliminary site plan hearing. We presented to the Planning Commission. They had some thoughtful comments and suggestions. We'll be back for a council hearing and a Board of Adjustment to ask for some sidewalk waivers and a setback waiver.
Next, organizers will present a variance request to the Board of Adjustments regarding a bulkhead in the Broadkill River.
Indian River School District is stepping up safety at its 2 high schools. This is ahead of the 2025-2026 school year. Indian River and Sussex Central will use new open gate weapons detection systems. Every student will pass through them each morning. Anyone found with prohibited items could face school and legal consequences. Students should also expect to remove large electronics like Chromebooks and metal water bottles before entering.
Here's a look at Washington, D.C. The White House says it's working to arrange a face-to-face meeting between Presidents Putin and Zelensky.
Yeah, new overnight, Russia is intensifying its assault on eastern Ukraine. This as Ukraine asks for security assurances from the U.S.
NBC's Alice Barr shows us where the war stands after 2 important talks involving both countries.
On the front lines of eastern Ukraine, relentless Russian strikes underscoring what's at stake as the White House seeks a location for a face-to-face meeting between Ukraine's President Zelensky and Russia's President Putin.
And then after that meeting, if everything works out, okay, I'll meet and we'll wrap it up.
Finding where to meet, no easy task, with Putin facing arrest for war crime charges and many countries party to the International Criminal Court. A White House official telling NBC News President Trump spoke with Hungary's leader and that Budapest is being considered, as well as Geneva. Russia has yet to publicly confirm Putin will meet with Zelensky, though the White House says he agreed to. Ukraine and European allies, worried Putin will play for time, are pressing for an immediate ceasefire, rather than the broad peace deal President Trump favors following his Putin summit in Alaska. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff defending the approach.
A ceasefire deal is very, very easy to break, because it doesn't have all the ingredients attached to it.
Also noting the importance of guarantees for Ukraine's future security, though President Trump now says the U.S. will not send ground troops to join a European peacekeeping force, while not ruling out military support from the air.
It is an option and a possibility.
As the president acknowledges he can't be sure Putin is ready to end the war.
I think Putin is tired of it. I think they're all tired of it, but you never know. It's possible that he doesn't want to make a deal.
Looming unknowns on the path to peace. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
And we're just getting started this morning on CoastTV News Today.
Yeah, coming up, food skills to fuel the future. How a program at the Food Bank of Delaware prepares its students for success.
Also, Carlisle Fire Company constraint. We'll tell you what the agency says is creating a need for faster emergency response in Milford.
And tariffs to bring higher prices. What to expect from Home Depot as the company says the new fees are starting to take effect. All that and more as CoastTV News Today continues.
Pleasant, good Wednesday morning, Delmarva, as we take a look at a cloudy sky there in Lewis. Continue to see that onshore wind there. Temperatures in Lewis, 73 degrees, dew point 70. And you can see a few sprinkles across the eastern shore. Most of that is over the water of the bay. We're pretty dry out there. Damp start, mild start. In fact, 70 in Georgetown. We're at 74. Bethany Beach. We're seeing some gusts. Indian River Inlet, 22 miles an hour to 16 in Bethany Beach. Check this out. We were at 90 on Sunday, right? Average high 86. High yesterday, only 68 degrees. Yeah, with all that low clouds and the scattered showers that we had. Now, we'll be up into the lower 80s today. I think we squeeze out some sun of those clouds before some isolated showers and storms. Again, those wave heights, 5 to 9 feet. And then that tropical storm warning for the coastal waters goes into effect tomorrow with waves as high as 8 to 14 feet and those winds gusting upwards of 50 miles an hour by tomorrow afternoon through tomorrow evening. Today, temperatures getting into the lower 80s. With isolated showers and storm chances, southeast winds anywhere between about 15 to 20 miles an hour. And congratulations to our umbrella winner, Anna Sloniker of Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. Coming up, we'll talk the latest on Hurricane Erin and the latest track in that full 7-day forecast. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. The 38th annual Delaware Coastal Cleanup is coming up on Saturday, September 13th from 9 a.m. to noon, according to DENREC. Volunteers at 45 cleanup spots across the state will help clean up the Delaware beaches, waterways, and natural areas. Supplies like gloves and trash bags will be provided.
If you're looking to build a business, State of Delaware is offering some assistance. According to DelDOT, the Transportation Infrastructure Investment Fund is designed for new business improvements, and DelDOT says it has awarded 35 grants totaling nearly $59 million and claims that it helped create about 12,500 jobs. If you're interested in applying, the deadline is Monday, September 8th.
Home Depot announced prices of some of its items are likely to go up. The nation's largest home improvement retailer says the Trump administration's tariffs are having a ripple effect on their products. Home Depot says just under 50% of its inventory is imported from suppliers outside the U.S. The company says while some products will go up in price, it won't be broad-based.
And President Trump's 50% tariff on steel and aluminum imports has taken effect. More than 400 categories of common items that contain steel and aluminum are now expensive to import to the United States. Last month, the U.S. government reported it collected $30 billion from tariffs.
Well, I'm doing my best to search for some sunshine today. I think we'll see some breaks in those clouds. Temperatures rising into the upper 70s to near 80 degrees. Eventually, lower 80s this afternoon with some scattered showers and storms developing. The latest on Erin and what it means for our coast tomorrow in that full 7-day forecast. Right after the break.
Time is 6:18 and we're getting the live look high above Laurel. Chris, we see those clouds moving as we start with a gray day today.
Yeah, overcast start. I think we'll see some breaks in those clouds later this morning through the early part of the afternoon, but it's been a cloudy stretch, a cool stretch where we're dealing with a few scattered showers across the bay this morning and some sprinkles, but for the most part we are dry, just kind of a damp start out there. That's still out front just to our southeast, and we have another front back off to the west. That's going to be pushing in tomorrow, and that's going to help really kind of push Erin out to sea. We're at 73 degrees in Lewis, 69 Redden to 68 Harrington, 74 Bethany Beach to 75 in Ocean City. Winds relatively calm west of Coastal Highway, but at the coast we're generally gusting upwards of 15 to 25 miles an hour. Now the tropical storm warning in effect for the coastal waters from Cape Henlopen, Rehoboth, down through Bethany, Fenwick Island. We also do have those tropical storm warnings up for the coastal waters, Ocean City, Assateague Island, all the way down to Chincoteague. And then the coastal flood watch, that is in effect for the back bays and the coast. That is primarily for the onshore wind, as well as that wave action. Could see inundation in those flood-prone areas up to 2 feet. The latest on Hurricane Erin looking a bit healthier than it did yesterday. Got just hit with wind shear yesterday. We're sustained at 100 miles an hour, winds 120. Could strengthen a little here over the next day, but then expected to push to the northeast as we go through the day Thursday and then Friday, and then it will become extra tropical as it pushes out into the Atlantic. So we're dealing with some clouds to start, but I think by the time we get in the afternoon, we'll see some breaks with an isolated shower chance through the afternoon, especially along the eastern shore, western Sussex County. Could see an isolated storm pop up. We're dry, mild overnight, and then there's the clouds from Erin pushing in, and there's those strong northeast winds really kicking in Thursday afternoon through Thursday evening. And then once the front clears, look at this, we're dropping into the upper 50s by Friday morning. There's those gusts by tomorrow afternoon, especially late afternoon through the evening, gusting as high as 50 miles an hour, Bethany Beach to 40 in Rehoboth, and we'll still be a bit breezy into Friday, but we dry out. Coast tomorrow, tropical storm force winds. There's those winds gusting upwards of 50 miles an hour, waves anywhere from 8 to 14 feet with coastal flooding, and cloudy day overall with isolated showers, and then inland and through the eastern shore will be generally breezy with cloudy conditions. There's those swells today, 5 to 9 feet, peaking tomorrow afternoon upwards of 14 feet, and then even into Friday, we're going to be dry, we're going to be sunny, gorgeous day, but still going to be dealing with some dangerous surf with wave heights up to 8 feet. We're at 82 today with mostly cloudy conditions. We're mostly cloudy, mild tomorrow, 76 for our Thursday with that wind at the coast. And then we're dealing with plenty of sunny skies by Friday. Friday and the weekend looking really nice. We could see a late thunderstorm chance Sunday as a front pushes through.
Thank you, Chris. Some unfortunate news as the Cape Community Day has been canceled due to weather conditions. According to the school district's Facebook page, they do not have a rain date, but they plan to have it another time in the undetermined future.
Rapid growth in Milford, particularly the southeast side, has created the need for faster emergency response, and the Carlisle Fire Company hopes to address that by using an existing building for a new substation that's on Cedar Beach Road by early next year. Fire Company says the Delaware Fire Commission recently approved the plans and stresses the importance of making fire protection accessible to all parts of the city. City officials say the new substation is needed to keep up with growth and is long overdue.
Now you're closer to some of those particular volunteers, and then also getting that truck or apparatus out to the issue is much quicker. So this has been needed for a very long time.
The fire company says that it has no plans right now to make the new substation a permanent facility.
Up next on Coast TV News today, food skills to fuel the future. We'll tell you what students learn at a program at the Food Bank of Delaware. Don't go anywhere. A new group of students from the Food Bank of Delaware's culinary program are ready to hit the kitchen. Tuesday, students from the 41st class of the program celebrated their graduation in Milford with friends and family. Over the 14-week course, students learned from experienced chefs and gained hands-on kitchen experience.
For so many of our students, this is the completion of a goal that they've set for themselves to complete this program, to get the skills training that they need to get entry-level jobs in the culinary industry. And so many of them are getting that job, have gotten that job, and are ready to take the next steps.
The Food Bank says this culinary program is offered to students at no cost, made possible entirely through donations in Milford. And dangerous waves have closed our beaches for swimming today, and that's been the story this entire week so far.
I know, we said this yesterday. If you're vacationing here and this is your week on our coast, it's just a bad bit of luck.
I know, yes. Chris, I don't know if you have good news for any of those vacationers.
Well, I mean, it's going to be pretty dry, at least late in the week. But yeah, we're going to continue to deal with that dangerous surf even into Friday as Hurricane Erin pushes out to sea. Dealing with those overcast skies here in Ocean View. We're at 74, so quite mild to start today. Winds are out of the southeast at about 7 miles an hour. I think we see some breaks in the clouds through the afternoon. Ocean City, we're at 79 by 580 in Fenwick Island as we make our way up through Lewis and Rehoboth. Temperatures right around 80 degrees with some sun breaking through those clouds. Again, wave heights 5 to 9 feet as we make our way over to the bay, and a chance of an isolated shower or thunderstorm by the afternoon with highs generally around 80 degrees. There's those wave heights peaking 5 to 9 feet today. There is when we expect the worst wave heights tomorrow afternoon, 8 to 14 feet, and even into Friday. Expecting sunny skies Friday, but waves still at 5 to 8 feet, so keep that in mind. And as always, you can get your latest forecast by dialing the First Alert Weather phone. We'll have a look at the latest track from Hurricane Erin coming up in the next half hour. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. And after the break on Coast TV News today, South Bethany Resiliency Review will tell you what to expect from an update on its action plan.
Also, Oceans Calling, requests considered, what officials are set to review for the big music event on our coast.
And Hurricane Erin hurdles closer. We have the storm's path and how our coastal communities are trying to keep people safe. Coast TV News today. We'll be right back.
Now on Coast TV News.
It's a mild start out there as we're tracking some sun this afternoon, milder in the lower 80s as seas continue to rise, and the latest on Erin and when we could expect to see the peak of those effects.
Surf restrictions, the action taken by our coastal communities as Hurricane Erin makes its way north in the Atlantic.
Shoreline stress, the high surf is causing extra attention to trouble spots like the Delaware Seashore State Park, what Denrick is expecting for this area in the upcoming days.
Calling on alcohol access. The timeframes, 2 big music events in Ocean City are looking at to sell beer and other beverages.
This is Coast TV News Today.
August 20th, 2025. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning, Matt. Good morning, I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, we're hitting 6:31 on this Wednesday morning. The effects of Hurricane Erin rocking areas south of us. We saw some video of North Carolina.
We were just talking. These are big vacation weeks. It's kind of like your final hurrah of the summertime. So if you're in the Outer Banks, if you're on our coast, we definitely feel for you with this weather.
Because you've planned this months, maybe a year in advance. This is your week.
I know, and we're going to bring in First Alert Meteorologist Chris Mastrobuono. Chris has said he's trying to get sunlight. He's trying to get that good weather. Chris, we understand.
Doing my best there. You know, we've been stuck in the clouds for the last 2 days and waking up to some cloudy skies this morning here on the peninsula. Just a few stray showers and sprinkles trying to push in over the bay there, but we're pretty dry, but rather damp, muggy, mild start with that front 2 hours south. And visibility not an issue at this hour, so that is certainly good news. But as I mentioned, pretty good as far as temperatures are concerned at this hour. 71 in Georgetown. We only had 68 yesterday, 74 in Rehoboth, and we're at 74 Bethany Beach. Winds not all that strong at this hour, gusting upwards of 15 to 20 miles an hour. Now, we do have a tropical storm warning. This is for the coastal waters from Cape Henlopen through Rehoboth, down through Dewey and Fenwick Island. That kicks in tomorrow afternoon. And then we also have a newly issued coastal flood warning. This is for the Back Bays and the tidal flooding due in part to that persistent onshore push as well as the high surf that we're going to be dealing with, and that tropical storm warning coastal waters of Ocean City down through Chickasaw still have a coastal flood watch there up for Accomack and Worcester counties. Here's the latest on Hurricane Erin, a Category 2 hurricane moving north-northwest about 13 miles an hour. It will begin to push more northerly today, may strengthen a little over the next 24 hours, and then push to the northeast and then eventually out to sea, but kicking up tremendous surf and dangerous rip currents over the next 2 to 3 days. The center of the storm is going to be about 300 to 400 miles offshore, but the wind field is expansive, and we're going to see those tropical storm force winds at the coast tomorrow through tomorrow night, and then tidal flooding and beach erosion is going to be likely over the next 2 days. So we're going to try to get some breaks in those clouds this afternoon, and then we'll see a chance of a few thunderstorms later on today. We'll talk more about Erin in that full 7-day forecast here in a little bit. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. We are now getting a live look at Ocean City. We are seeing a little peak of sunshine right there, which is a great sign to see after the weather we've been experiencing. We can see those waves are already active, and that wave size is expected to increase in the upcoming hours. Coastal communities continuing to take action responding to rough water and high surf. Rehoboth Beach is posting a double red flag status, meaning officials say extreme hazards and swimming isn't allowed. Ocean City is also closing access to its waters. The Delaware Seashore State Park and Fenwick Island State Park have prohibited ocean access since Monday, with rules continuing today. And surf fishing and swimming at Cape Henlopen State Park beaches is not allowed.
Hurricane Erin hasn't brought its full force to Delaware's coast yet. We know it's coming, and the Denmark Shoreline and Waterway Management Section now referring to Erin as a, quote, severe erosion event. How severe? That'll be determined over the next couple of days.
And officials say the Indian River Inlet beaches could see the worst of it Thursday, with erosion lasting into Saturday. Denmark has staged heavy equipment on both sides of the bridge to respond as needed, but officials say, quote, Denmark will not preemptively place sand at the inlet for supporting infrastructure ahead of possible hurricane impacts, but will, quote, assess impacts as they occur and more fully address beach and dune losses after the storm has passed. Happening today, Sussex County Planning and Zoning Commission is reviewing a request that aims to add more homes to a manufactured home park. According to the agenda, the Crossings at Oak Orchard LLC is seeking approval for 2 additional lots inside the Riverwinds manufactured home park. Organizers say the proposal affects about 0.37 acres of land within the 35-acre community. Council members will gather today at 3 p.m.
This morning, the ability to once again sell alcoholic beverages at 2 big Ocean City music events is getting reviewed. Texas-based Spectrum Concessions has applications in front of the Worcester County Board of License Commissioners. One of those is for Oceans Calling at September 26th to the 28th. The second is Country Calling, October 3rd to the 5th. Sales for both events are hoped to occur noon to 10:30 p.m.
Happening today, South Bethany officials will meet to discuss the Resiliency Action Plan. This is according to the agenda for the Resiliency Committee. Officials say that plan covers a wide range of tasks, from mitigation projects and building code updates to bulkheads, green infrastructure, project financing, and public outreach. The committee will meet in just a few hours at 10 a.m.
New overnight, a defense official says about 2,400 people serve in the Washington, D.C. National Guard.
But not all are on duty, as Amy Kiley shows us, with some on leave for training. Troops from West Virginia and other states are being sent in as backup.
West Virginia National Guard members could be operational in Washington, D.C. starting today, according to a defense official. They're tasked with helping their district counterparts carry out President Donald Trump's crackdown on crime. At least 5 Republican governors from other states say they're deploying Guard members too. The mayor says that's overkill.
The numbers on the ground in the district don't support 1,000 people from other states coming to Washington, D.C.
Others say the city could use some help.
And I don't think it's theater. I think it's working.
At least one Republican governor says he won't send in Guard members. Vermont's leader says policing isn't their job. Meanwhile,
the president's treating us like we're criminal. I'm not no criminal.
Trump's effort to remove homeless people from the city continues.
It's just been a lot of chaos. People using the bathroom out here, people selling drugs all day long.
Trump says he wants homeless people to get help outside the Capitol. Advocates say most are just relocating within the city. They say that struggle to find shelter makes the problem worse.
They're losing their possessions, they're losing their dignity, they're getting disconnected from services, and we're making it harder for them to get out of homelessness.
Nowhere to go. When you don't get help, it's nowhere to go.
I'm Mimi Kiley reporting.
Here's a live look at Washington, D.C. The White House says it's working to arrange a face-to-face meeting between Presidents Putin and Zelensky. News just in, Russia is intensifying its assault on eastern Ukraine. This as Ukraine asks for security assurances from the U.S. The White House continues to seek a location for a face-to-face meeting between the two leaders. Ukraine and European allies are pressing for an immediate ceasefire rather than the broad peace deal President Trump favors, following his Putin summit in Alaska.
Ceasefire deal is very, very easy to break because it doesn't have all the ingredients attached to it.
Russia has yet to publicly confirm Putin will meet Zelensky, though the White House says he has agreed to.
And we have a lot more news to get to in this final half hour. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up, Salisbury paving progress. We'll tell you what to expect from traffic flow after a major project is complete.
Also, draft picks debut, how the Orioles' 3 first-round picks from this summer's draft fared for the Shorebirds last night. Stay with us on Coast TV News today.
We salute Anthony LaMancha for his courageous service aboard the USS Pueblo during the Vietnam War. In 1968, Tony and his shipmates were captured by North Korea and held as prisoners of war for 11 months. Enduring hardship with strength and resilience, Tony's bravery and sacrifice remain a powerful testament to the courage of all who serve. We honor and thank him for his service to our nation.
Spicer Brothers and Coast TV are honoring military persons and first responders serving Delmarva. If you have a family member, friend, or community member that you would like to nominate for a Coast TV salute, go to coasttvsalutes.com.
Well, it's a good Wednesday morning. Delmarva waking up to cloudy, damp conditions this morning. Lewis checking in at this hour with those overcast skies. We're at 73 degrees, winds out of the north about 7 miles an hour. Seeing a few spotty showers and some drizzle across the area at this time, but expecting mostly cloudy skies through the morning and into the afternoon. We're at 74 in Rehoboth, 72 Longneck, and 71 in Millsboro. Winds sustained anywhere between about 5 to 15 gusts, upwards of 20 to 25 along the coast. We were at 90 on Sunday, 76 Monday, and look at that, we barely got out of the 60s yesterday. Today, looking at highs generally in the lower 80s with a few isolated storms breaking out later on this afternoon. I think we squeezed out some sunshine there. We'll talk more about Hurricane Erin and the peaks of those effects coming in tomorrow. Your latest forecast here in minutes.
Car crash in Milton caught on camera. This was Tuesday afternoon. Just check this out. Take a look here. You can see the car hit a parked car, then flipped on its side. We did reach out to Milton police about what happened here, but don't have any more details just yet.
Downtown Georgetown could soon be getting a new look. The town is updating its downtown development district plan. That means new incentives to bring in businesses, create jobs, and improve public spaces. Public meetings are being planned, giving residents the chance to share their ideas on the future of Georgetown.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Over at Purdue Stadium, it's an exciting time to be a Shorebirds fan. I get it. Delmarva dropped 8 of its last 9 headed into yesterday. So why did I say that? Well, because 3 Baltimore first-rounders make their home debuts this week here in Salisbury. Rookies Ike Irish, Caden Bodine, and Vahiva Aloy were all in the lineup last night. This trio helped Delmarva pull off a 6-run comeback win against the Kannapolis Cannonballers. Aloy led off, went 2 for 4, and had 2 RBI. Irish in the 2-hole also collected 2 knocks and a pair of ribbies. Bodine batted third, finished with a team-high 3 hits. The Coastal Carolina product has a 375 average a week in his pro career. These 3 are about to give Orioles fans serious hope for the future, but in the present, they're back in action tonight against Kannapolis, which is a White Sox affiliate. First pitch is slated for just after 7, and we'll be back from Purdue Stadium broadcasting live on DSN. Now, there's a little bit of a chance of rain in the forecast, so don't feel bad about tuning in at home with us. The Shorebirds, not a great record on the year, but you know what? That doesn't really matter. Those 3 guys, all of them first-round picks, showing off some serious potential from the plate in last night's wild win. I'll do it for sports. Have a great morning.
And coming up tonight on DSN at 7, we have live Shorebirds baseball from Purdue Stadium. The Birds continue their series with the Kannapolis Cannonballers. And then at 10:30, catch the final score.
And here's what you can look forward to this afternoon on Coast Life at 4 p.m.
Halfway through the week, and we hope you're having a good week so far, but we're always here to brighten things up a little bit on Coast Life. If you tune in today at 4, we're going to be skating into Bayside Park to see what's new at the skate park there. Also, Jeep Fest is coming to town. I know our field correspondent Kendall Gordon is excited to tell you all about that. And of course, all week long, we're talking back to school, whether it's getting back into the routine of things, if you've got questions. We know that back to school can be rough on parents, just like it is on the kids. It's okay. Take a breath. We're in it together. All that fun and more is coming up today at 4 on Coast Life. We'll see you then.
Well, a mostly cloudy Wednesday with an isolated shower or thunderstorm. Highs today in the lower 80s as those seas continue to rise. 5 to 9 foot waves, and by tomorrow we're peaking at 14 feet with those winds really picking up along the coast. We'll talk more about how high those winds are going to get coming up in that full 7-day forecast.
The time is now 6:48, and we are taking a live look outside at Ocean View this morning. And Chris, we've been talking about this overcast weather. We are looking at the water there. Many of our beaches have closed the water to people because of that rough surf.
Yeah, and that rough surf is only going to be getting worse here over the next 24 to 36 hours. Expecting waves 5 to 9 feet through the day today. Now we're seeing a few spotty showers and some drizzle developing across portions of the southwestern portions of the peninsula, and some spotty showers in and across Sussex County. Nothing all that heavy at this hour. We have that stalled out front that was it's been plaguing us with the clouds and the showers yesterday, kind of stalled out further to the southwest today, and there's that cold front back off to the west. It's going to kind of push all this out to sea as we go through the day tomorrow. 71 right now in Milton. We're at 71 Georgetown to 74 Bethany Beach. Winds gusting 20 in Indian River Inlet to 16 in Rehoboth Beach. We have that newly issued tropical storm warning for the coastal waters of Cape Henlopen down through Bethany, Fenwick Island. This kicks into effect tomorrow, where we expect to see those tropical storm force winds. Ocean City coastal waters down through Assateague Island, and then we have a newly issued coastal flood warning in effect for the coastal areas of Sussex County. Could see up to 1 to 2 feet of inundation, all thanks to that persistent onshore flow and the high surf. Latest on Hurricane Erin as of the 5 a.m. advisory, we're at 13 mile an hour sustained, pushing to the north-northwest at 13 miles an hour. Winds are 100 miles an hour, gusting 120. May strengthen a little here over the next 24 hours, but for all intents and purposes, this is going to be a pretty strong hurricane and then push out to sea as we go into the day on Friday. We're at 83 this afternoon in Harrington, 83 Georgetown under mostly cloudy skies, 83 Cambridge to 81 in Berlin. Isolated shower, thunderstorm possible through the afternoon, especially across the eastern shore. It is a breezy overnight under mostly cloudy skies as we go into our Thursday. Overcast as we get the clouds from Erin, but those winds are going to be the story along the coast as we go into tomorrow afternoon through tomorrow evening, and a gorgeous Friday. By Friday morning, some areas dipping into the upper 50s. There's those winds, 50 mile an hour gusts by tomorrow afternoon through tomorrow evening, and then still being quite windy through tomorrow night, and then we'll see breezy conditions on the coast Friday. So that's where our primary concern is, the coast. Tropical storm force winds, we have the coastal flooding, isolated shower possible. We're going to be cloudy throughout much of Delmarva, but as we go inland, pretty much a cloudy, breezy day with gusts upwards of 35 miles an hour, and we're looking at some flooding in the back bays as well as those seas rise. Waves 5 to 9 feet today, peaking tomorrow as we've been talking about. Thursday is really the day we see those wave heights upwards of 12 to 14 feet. Erin exits to the northeast by Friday. High pressure builds in Friday, looking like a very nice day with mostly sunny skies. We're at 82 today, mostly cloudy, milder isolated storm chance. 70 overnight, we're mostly cloudy and breezy. 76 for our Thursday. Clouds from Erin, windy at the coast with that onslaught of heavy surf. 78 by Friday, mostly sunny skies, but again, keep a close eye to the surf. We're going to still be dealing with some dangerous rip currents through at least the start of the weekend.
All right, thank you, Chris. A roadway redesign is underway in Salisbury. Crews are expected to work this week along Carroll Street between the intersections of Route 13 and Circle Avenue. Once milling is complete, city officials say they will have 2 lanes in each direction, better directional and pedestrian markings, along with designated bike lanes. Now, we spoke with some drivers who say the upgrades are needed, but as you might expect, they're worried about the delays that will come with it.
This will be a hassle. It's going to be very hectic, especially in the morning time. You have people going for work.
I think it's going to cause a lot of delays, but if they redesign it and they make it a little better, a little wider, maybe a little designated shoulder, even if it's not too big, would be very helpful for people who regularly go on it.
Salisbury officials say drivers should expect delays this week. Flaggers are expected daily from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
And the time is now 6:52, and we are going to check in with our coastal pet of the day.
Okay, this hour, our coastal pet of the day is a very loved dog who doesn't let a disability stop him. On your screen, that's Odin. Odin is blind. It's always on the go. He loves riding in his little red wagon, showing off his new Old Bay collar. Love that. Love that. And you can see it on your screen right there. Odin was submitted to us by his family in Salisbury.
And we want to see more of your pets on Delmarva. Send us photos and tell us what makes them so special. You can take a look at your screen.
That's where the QR code is, top center. Scan it, get your friends to us, and then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature.
It is 6:55, and it's time for the things you need to know before you go. The ability to once again sell alcoholic beverages at 2 big Ocean City music events is getting reviewed. Texas-based Spectrum Concessions has applications in front of the Worcester County Board of License Commissioners. One is calling for Oceans Calling from September 26th to the 28th, and the second is for Country Calling from October 3rd to the 5th. The sales for both events would be noon to 10:30 p.m.
Expansion at the Milton Theater takes another step. Tuesday night, engineers presented preliminary site plans to Milton Planning and Zoning, including a roughly 2,800 square foot addition for more classroom space, more parking, and accessibility.
It is 6:56. We're going to take another look at our forecast before you head out the door.
Now, Chris, we're still waiting for the biggest impact from Erin.
Yeah, we're really going to see those really begin to peak tomorrow afternoon through tomorrow evening, primarily at the coast, with those winds really gusting upwards of 50 miles an hour. Today, though, we will see some sun try to break through those clouds. An isolated shower or thunderstorm is possible. Highs generally in the lower 80s with east-southeast winds generally between about 15 to 20 miles an hour. Now, your 10-day forecast shows the effects of Erin tomorrow. We're going to be an overcast day, temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. Can't rule out an isolated shower. Most of the precipitation shield from Erin is going to stay off the coast, but it's really going to be about the wind and the tidal flooding and the onshore, the onslaught of the high surf tomorrow. Gusts upwards of 50 with the swells upwards of 14 feet. And then we're going to see drier, sunny conditions by Friday. Look at those morning lows by Friday morning, upper 50s.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News Today.
And the Today Show is coming up next at 7 a.m.
Then we'll be back for Coast TV News midday at 11.
And for even more news and coverage, you can count on, download our Coast TV News and weather apps. Have a great Wednesday morning, everybody.